The Pethericks, a channel we all know and love, has been a great sport. Humorous skits and DIY-related content that has paved a new niche for all of us to enjoy. A perfect way to spend a lazy Sunday afternoon over a cup of tea. But recently something has come up and it seems like their past has caught up on them. Let's know what really happened and take a deeper dive into these content creators. But first, a disclaimer. We are merely reporting what's been published on the news. The channel does not intend to hurt the sentiment of any person. The Pethericks, a British YouTube family vlog that specializes in historical restorations and fun adventures, has managed to rack up a respectable 365,000 subscribers and over 68 million views. This French channel grosses about $150,000 per year. The Pethericks brothers, Michael and Billy, are the face of the channel, documenting self-restoration videos of historical buildings, with their main focus being their home, which is unconventional but a chateau. While Michael does show his artwork and add creativity to the vlog, the channel mostly surrounds the lives of people living in a chateau in a day and age when inflation makes it hard if not impossible to do so. It's all a good day at the chateau. But in a recent turn of events, something happened that took their audience aback. The faces behind the channel were found guilty of theft and sale of precious artifacts dating back to 2014 from the churches in Brittany and Anjou. According to the French newspaper Le Parisien, Billy Petherick was convicted of misplacing items like patens, chalices, ciboriums, or tabernacle keys from various French churches. Sources revealed that he used to sell them on eBay or to a longtime family acquaintance who was a retailer and second-hand trader back home. Michael Petherick and his brother Billy Petherick started the channel back on August 15, 2012, thanks to their keen interest in historical explorations and artifacts. They are do-it-yourself content creators and British YouTube vloggers who love documenting their journey in the restoration process. In fact, they don't just adore it, they also own it. Well, Gwen owns it, which is very absurd. You'd imagine a person who owns a chateau would be very, for the lack of a better word, be different. They preserve a piece of history by repairing and restoring the abandoned convent that Billy and his wife Gwendoline purchased, the Chateau de l'Abbesse Magny, in the Mayenne region of northwest France. The chateau, despite being in the restoration phase, is a marvel. Along with a private chapel, a classic old garden, 6 cottages, and 25 acres of forest, and also a secluded lake. The chateau is situated on over 60 acres of parkland. The restoration process of such huge and ancient buildings requires massive manpower, and even though it seemed impossible when they first arrived, they surely have come a long way. They are successfully restoring the place with baby steps and a lot of donations to turn it into a really good living place, and a bed and breakfast maybe. They somehow manage the whole restoration process independently, but somehow is the question, and this is where things take a darker turn, nonetheless, making it even more interesting for the viewers to watch. As it is quite obvious that living and maintaining such a huge castle will surely be hefty and tiring, apparently they invested about all of their revenue from YouTube in maintaining their livelihood, which counters the very essence of living in a castle. Their transparency with the content and willingness to share every little detail of their experiences make them a really trustworthy creator, and that is surely commendable. However, their story took an unexpected turn in 2021, when it was revealed that Billy Petherick had deserted the household cavalry, which guards the Queen, a decade earlier in 2009 and never returned. The news came to light when the couple, Billy and his wife Gwendoline, were making an appearance on Channel 4, showcasing the refurbishment work on their £890,000 French chateau. It was more shocking to know that Michael doesn't own the gorgeous chateau. Instead, it belongs to his brother Billy and sister-in-law Gwendoline. Before starting their new life in France, where he married a local named Gwendoline, purchased the 40-room 18th-century mansion, and restored it. The castle had a rich history that included ties to great men like Louis XIV himself. He somehow managed to stay out of the radar, but his appearance on the first series of Channel 4's Escape to the Chateau, DIY in 2018, led the authorities straight to his doorstep. After years of search and investigation, authorities finally traced him to his very home, Chateau de l'Abbesse Magny. But there is always a reason behind someone choosing an altered path, and so did Mr. Petherick. The prosecutor, Captain Daniel Lawler, in charge of the case, disclosed that Mr. Petherick had been subjected to constant harassment from his co-workers. Moreover, the death of his stepsister that year had impacted his mental state profoundly. Billy Petherick and his wife, Gwendoline, faced numerous problems setting up the place when they first went in. The gorgeous estate, bought with money from the estate of Mr. Petherick's late mother, was in horrible condition, with 90 broken windows, no running water, and no power. The place seemed almost beyond repair. It is still a mystery how they do so. Without prominent jobs or large inheritances, how can they pay for the maintenance of such an impressive estate? Given the significant expenses involved in maintaining such a priceless historical treasure, it's really intriguing. Though the project seemed impossible, with vision and a lot of tenacity, Billy and his brother Michael turned the run-down chateau into a good-looking daydream retreat. This wasn't all of their business. The pair continued to expand their vision and took another castle into their charge. They turned to another big project, the abandoned convent in Laval known as the Monastère de la Visitation, which was ready for repair. With videos like, "We risked our life savings on an abandoned convent" and "Finding buried relics at the convent," their YouTube channel grew faster than before. However, amidst their ambitious aspirations and growing popularity, in a dramatic turn of events, Billy and Gwendoline were charged with over 40 thefts that occurred between 2014 and 2015, mostly in Brittany and Anjou. Even though their defense tried to present them as innocent, stating that Billy used to take Gwendoline on vehicle rides through the French churches. She remained busy with herself because she was fascinated with the buried history, calling it curiosity, which went into bad circumstances. Yet the prosecutors countered that these excursions were possibilities for stealing rather than just harmless research. However, Gwendoline claimed she was unaware of the thefts, saying she was too busy with her phone or thesis to notice anything else. But things went sideways when Gwendoline confessed that she wasn't so shocked when she got to know Billy's conduct, and pointed to his contempt for the church as a mitigating factor in the case. The prosecution pointed out that the majority of the objects, 72 to be exact, of the 76 were returned. All objects that could be recovered were quickly turned over to the Regional Directorate of Cultural Affairs as a sort of partial restitution to the affected church. The couple's attorney pleaded in their favor, highlighting their spotless criminal histories and no engagement in other lawful activities. Their activities had an impact outside of the courtroom as well. The Diocese of Rennes expressed regret at the loss of holy items necessary for worship and demanded compensation for their lost time and expenses. Taking into consideration the immature and awful behavior of Billy Petherick and his inability to live up to the strict requirements of the English Royal Guards, the court issued a decision fining Billy €15,000 and sending him to prison for a year. On the other hand, Gwendoline was fined €10,000, and an €8,000 fine was imposed on the used dealer involved in the transactions. As of Billy's military desertion trial in 2021, it was made public that the French police looked for him in 2014, and an arrest warrant was issued for him 3 years later. It was not until 2018 that his whereabouts were formally established upon his return to the UK. Billy's absence without leave from July 2, 2009, until September 21, 2021, with no intention of returning, was uncovered at his court appearance. He thus entered a plea of guilty to desertion, which resulted in his being dismissed from the military but rescuing him from prison. The Petherick family's story is depressing and an important reminder of the narrowed line between ambition and responsibility and the consequences that extend well beyond their luxurious estates. So this was it for today. Please share this video with your friends. Give this a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you at the next one.